There you go.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. It's Fun Time Thursday. So first we make sure we have sound and video. I can see me, so that's good. So let's see if we can hear me. Okay. So that's good. Oh,
Nope, you
we
can.
can because I didn't turn it off. So sound and video, yay, which is like a major accomplishment because on Saturday we had the crossover and I was snowed in, so I brought it home. And usually when I do things where I disconnect, even though it doesn't really matter because I didn't disconnect my camera, I didn't disconnect my microphone, but I like reconnected to a different camera, and usually that like screws it up. So, and my mom and I didn't do the test tonight. I just said, I think I have sound because I like saw the little thing going over. So anyways, yay, it works. So what do we have coming up? Well, tonight's Fun Time Thursday. So we're going to, in a minute, we're going to go down to the table. And I will show you the next, well, two of the cards for the next Crafters Classroom. And then I think I have some stamps and dies here that I'm going to work on samples tomorrow for our next Fun Time Thursday. So let's go down to the table.
Okay, you're there.
And I have my Packer gloves. It's Packer weekend this weekend. So, like my nails, I got those done. And my daughter was giving me a hard time saying, sometimes we make bad choices. But really, Kathy sent me some Packer gloves or some Packer fuzzy mittens in honor of my sparkly nails. So, and they look great together. So, Leah just has to wait because while the Packers are in the playoffs, my nails are going to stay sparkly gold. So, Kathy told me I could not wear these tonight for stamping. So, I'm not going to try it because, yeah, that might not work too good. So, anyways, so thank you, Kathy. Nope. There goes my mom's phone.
Oops, I forgot about that one.
Signal is spotty. So if the signal is spotty, sometimes my mom will hook you up to YouTube. Or she posted a link to YouTube. And sometimes you get better reception on YouTube. So you can head over to YouTube if Facebook's being weird. Because you know what? Facebook is just weird sometimes. So our next Crafters Classroom, I started with this Hugs die. So you don't get the die, you get them die cut. And then I decided to go, kind of clean and simple. And this one I say almost clean and simple because we do use a little watercolor. So you'll get a little swatch of the Peerless to do a little watercoloring behind the cup. And I don't think that's considered clean and simple. So I say almost clean and simple. And I still have two more to do. But one of the next ones is going to be the Hugs, and then I think we're going to do brush blending on the layer behind it. So, because Cheryl was telling me that her goal this year is to always use, take the reverse. So take the 1 out of 1 to make one card, this card, and I put one layer of Hugs in that card. So I'm trying to use my reverse stuff too. So anyways, that is Crafters Classroom next month. And then I am trying to work on my next Fun Time Thursday. And this is what I am thinking. I don't know because I haven't gotten there yet, but there's all these good friends sayings, and there's the little bubbles from Impression Obsession, along with like these. Like, I like the cute animals. I'm behind you all the way, friends. So I'm trying to think that theme for next Fun Time Thursday. So that's like a whole month away. So, but I do have to get designing it because I'm going to try and get on time, which is hard for me to do. So anyways, let's go to tonight's cards. We have Fun Time Thursday. And I forgot to post today saying that I was going to be on. But everybody who has the kit is probably on. You got an email. If you didn't get the email and you don't have the kit, we still have kits available. These are the 4 cards that we're doing. You could watch tonight, order the kit, and then you can watch the replay and do it after. So yeah, this is the kit. If you have the kit, pull it out. There were 2 optional add-ons. The optional add-ons are this stencil that we're going to use on this card, and then this stencil that we're going to use on this card. So we are just going to go right into it. We're going to start with the bear, and then I think we're going to do the 2 that have like similar brush blending, except we did a big area here, a big background, and just a little background there. So, and the other thing that I did with this Fun Time Thursday, it seems like I have glitter everywhere, and that's probably from doing the glitter spray last week. Anyways, I did use a lot of the LeatherLIKE stocks on these cards just because those were great for men's cards, and that was Kathleen Wrestler Moore suggested that. So that was a great idea, and I just ran with it. So let's set those aside, and let's go on to this one, which if you did get the stencil, pull that out. If you didn't get the stencil, now I still do have some of the kits left, and I still do have some of the stencils left. So those are still online. I like to use washi tape or removable tape to hold it down. So I'm just going to stick it right up at the top. Now this one, when I first did it, like my brush, I brushed across it a little bit hard, and you can see this flapping up. I think they make like stencil removable sprays that you can, you know, spray on there, put down so your stencil stays in place. I don't have that, but I think they make those. So we need a blending brush, and we need an ink pad. Now, I can't remember which ink pad I used, so I'm going to pull out a few. I'm going to test it on the back. And we have the kit. So let's just make sure we have everything so far. We have the words, and I gave you 2 sets of words. So see how you can cut it to make one, or if you want it, you can use the other word, or if you don't like either of those words, you can turn it over, and I'm sure you have stamps at home. And then we have this piece that's going to go underneath it. We have our envelope. I'm going to put that off to the side. We have our black scored card. Now in here there are 2 layers. Well, there's this layer that we're going to stencil on. And then we also have this layer that attaches to the card front, and then you have a cream layer which goes on the inside. Now these you could interchange them if you wanted, like if you want that to pop out, you could. I think they're the same size. Oh, actually it's a little bit smaller. So anyways, the light cream layer goes on the inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach that right away. So yeah, I saw Kathleen just comment that she's going to wait to order the Crafters Classroom and the Fun Time Thursday together when they're both online, which is, you know, usually I'm not very timely, but I am really coming in tomorrow, and that is my main goal, is to sit right here and design at least 2 cards for Fun Time Thursday so I can get that one posted so I can be timely. I really try, but it's hard.
No ret tomorrow?
Nope, not so far. I didn't get a phone call to have Ev, so that means I will be here. So I'm just going to see how these 2 layer together really quick. Yep. So yeah, if I do get the call for the grandbaby, yeah, he takes precedence, and then I won't be here. But as of right now, I am planning on being here, and getting a couple cards designed and getting that next Fun Time Thursday posted so you guys can order it and you're not waiting till the last minute. Because I didn't post it till the last minute, so not that you waited till the last minute, but if you did go ahead and order the Crafters Classroom one already, you can always select pick up at warehouse and then just shoot me a quick email and tell me to combine it. So first we're going to stencil, and I think I want to say that I used this one. I should really write them down on a post-it note. But really, if you don't use the exact color brown, it doesn't matter. You just need something that's going to show up on here. And really you don't need to even do it on the whole thing, because look at, we just have it on the top half. If you want to do it on the whole thing, actually I might have done it on the whole thing because I see a little bit right here, but that was before I designed the card and I knew exactly what was going to be where. So I probably did do the whole thing in the beginning. If you want to do the whole thing, you could hold this bottom part down.
Pixie spray.
What?
Pixie spray, says Carol Johnson.
Oh, pixie spray is what holds the stencil down. I know we used the pixie stuff. Like, this is the glitter that I have all over, is this pixie sparkle highlights, but I'm curious, Carol, or whoever said that it's the pixie spray, is that what holds your stencil down? So anyways, I like to put my thumb, my sparkly thumb, behind the brush head and just go in a circle on my ink pad. I do like the bigger ink pads because they're just easier, but I'm pretty sure I used this one. And then if you have a stencil that has like looser areas like this, just be careful, but I'm not going to do that area. And I'm going to start down on the bottom just so I can check the color. And I know this is going to be covered up anyways.
Pixie spray is good for holding stencils down.
Okay, perfect. I might have to get some, but yeah, so that color works. And again, that was on the bottom. Yeah. Now watch me drop my ink pad on my card. There's nothing that ticks me off more than when I have a perfectly good card and I drop an ink pad on it. That's a serious bummer. The other thing when you have stencils that have these looser areas, like this one does have a little bit of a loose area right there, so I'm going to be very careful. But those, like the new magic mushrooms, somebody's calling, we're not answering, so if you're watching me and calling at the same time, hang up. Call me tomorrow.
Because we're not going to answer.
Yeah. You know, probably a lot of phone calls that I get are spam. There's nothing that ticks me off even more than getting down off of a ladder to answer the phone and having it be a telemarketer or having nobody there.
Yeah.
But,
Robo. Those darn robos.
yeah, robocalls. So I do go a lot in a circle, but when I have a loose area like that, like those, I started saying those magic mushrooms or pouncers or whatever, those work really nice. So yeah, I think I want a little bit more color. So yeah, I might have to try that pixie spray for the stencils. So yeah, you can go as dark or as light as you want. It's just kind of a background. And again, it only has to be at the top. And a little bit darker. I probably don't even need it darker in there because it just doesn't have to be exactly the same. Yep, I think that's good. So we're going to pull that off. I'm just going to hang it on my camera stand right in front of me.
So when you need it next, you can't find it, right?
Yeah, so when I need it next, it's hanging right in front of me. Actually, it could fall down. And let me put these ink pads away behind me because I don't need browns anymore. All right, so this one is a pretty easy card. We have our black, we have our coffee bean, and our Sahara, which I love. They're part of the new Lesabo line. And we're just going to attach those layers together.
Tracy said Tracy Zantz said she almost missed it. She thought you were on at 8 Eastern time.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Oh, okay. Well, since I have some tape here, we're all going to do a quick ATG refill lesson. Maybe, if I can get this off with my... Yep, it's always the same time. So 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. And if you ever do miss it, you can always watch it on YouTube later, or Facebook. So now sometimes when you pull these off, this little tab comes off, and then it's just stuck there, and that can be a little bit of a challenge, especially with glittery fingernails. Okay, so I just did that super fast, but this pops on and then it goes around. So my sticky tape is right here, and it will start right at the end of this roll. And we weave it around and pull it tight across the top. And then there's 2 little slits right here. Feed those in, wrap it around. This piece you're going to save. Now most people, if you have an ATG, you might have the pink one because that's the one they sold in stores for a while. My yellow ones are super old. Oh, if you're ever missing a piece, if you're watching live, you can, like if you're watching right now and you're missing something, you can type it in there, and my mom will write it down, and we'll get it mailed out to you. If you're watching the replay, you always do want to email Sarah@thepapercut.com. Oops. I got over anxious. This is going to attach right to our Sahara piece. And I like to kind of put it down. Sometimes I'll even flip it over just to see the border of it before I put the sticky side down. But then when I do put the sticky side down, I like to look at like 3 sides, make sure they're all even, and then set it the rest of the way down. And I still don't always get it perfect, but perfect schmurfect. If it were perfect, it would be Hallmark. So.
I like that. Tracy says she missed the last 2 because she just did.
Oh.
She said she doesn't know where her mind is because she watches every week. But
oh, well, Tracy, if you subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, she said she's re-watched them.
Yeah, but I think YouTube, depending on how you have your notifications set, and I don't totally know that for sure, but I know if you subscribe on YouTube, and then I think you can turn notifications on, so then it will show you when I'm on.
Oh.
Okay, so now we're going to set this brown one down, and there is a slight border going all the way around. And notice on the LeatherLIKE paper, there's the more matte side that's dimply up, and then there's kind of a side that looks like it's got a little bit of shine to it, and that's dimple down. So it's 2 different looks of LeatherLIKE. So you have that choice.
Tracy says she's subscribed. She knows the times, but she doesn't do notifications.
Oh, well, sometimes you get, just life gets busy and you get doing something else, and then bam, it's past the time. So that happens. So now you're going to pick which one you want. So I'm going to pull my paper trimmer over. let's see, do I have an exact size that this is? I don't usually work too much with exact, but let's see. Because it really doesn't have to be exact. Sometimes these are hard to read too. So like 1 3/4 is the size. But doesn't matter. It can be more, it can be less. And if you don't like the one word, there is the other one. And if you don't like that one, then you have the back. So I usually try to give you guys some choices. Just because, you know, not everything might work with everybody. So with the Hugs Crafters Classroom, it's this little stamp set, and it's not sitting right here in my stamp room. I've got it in a box to keep everything, a box lid, to keep it all organized, because Becky will start die cutting those next week. Anyways, it's this little set with different sayings, so I will give you multiple sayings, you know, so one might work better for you, or you might like one better than the other. In the Crafters Classroom, lately we've been doing a lot of like mechanical type cards, so this time I just decided, I'm just going to keep it a little bit, do it a little bit different this time. Mix it up. And I'm not sure what card bases I'm going to use for next month for our Friends type class for our Fun Time Thursday. We'll see. It might be a mixture. And then this can go as high or as low as you want it. I left about, I don't know, I'm going to say a little over an inch. But again, totally up to you. And then you have your bear. So I did pop him up. And sometimes you get little snibblety things. So if you have a pin or a pokey tool, or like I have a little snibblety thing that I can't get off of there with my fingernails. But a pin works, or a pokey tool. So I'm going to pop him up. Little schniblets. It's like paper fuzz. So just be aware, I'm putting it more down, because part of him might stick off the top here. Becky said, yes, I did. What
Yeah,
did she do?
Brian said, did you hear that, Becky?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what's planned for next week, and if Sarah gets her act together and gets all of her cards done, then you'll have a lot to do next week, Becky. So, but yeah, you can start with the Hugs. We'll start with the Hugs, yeah, and the words. But those are easy ones. There's sometimes I get Becky ones. Like, I think Becky didn't like me when we had to die cut this one. I think that one was not a fun one to die cut.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. So yeah, some are better to die cut than others. Open word ones are good. Background ones, not so good. So yeah, no snowflake backgrounds, no big card backgrounds. Okay, so we've got the...
Is that heart? Didn't we have a heart that was really a bear?
Yeah, we had a, I think there was a leaf one, like in the autumn class, that was a bear. So, in your kit, you have some little gems, And I did do those with alcohol ink because I couldn't find a whole bunch. Now I found these just laying around. And you can always make these darker before you put them on. If you take a Sharpie over the top of them, it will darken them up. Because when I first did an alcohol ink, they looked like a little like blue tint to them. But if you have a Sharpie, see how I just took the Sharpie just right over the top of them? And I do have some right here. So yes, these silver gems, you can take a Sharpie right over the top just to make them black. And you can do alcohol ink too, or a combination of the two. So these had both alcohol ink on them, and then I did Sharpie over the top of them. These I just did Sharpie on them, and they're not as black. But I think if I do a second thing of Sharpie, so. Or if you have some black gems, so. So these are a little bit bigger than what you have in your kit. There, I have a few kits that were missing gems. Not missing. Becky just ran out of gems when she was kitting them, so they have a little divider in them that says need gems. So that's what I took when I was pulling my stuff for tonight, was the ones that needed gems. Because I found these other ones just laying around.
You'd be surprised what's in that room of yours, Sarah.
Yeah.
No, you probably wouldn't. You probably know everything that's in there.
I know a lot of what's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I only fit 2 on one side. Oof. Must be a little bit off-centered, the words. Didn't mean to do that. But nobody's going to notice unless you have big gems like this. And honestly, if you give a card to somebody and they count and they tell you you're missing a gem, yep, you know what happens? They're off your card list. So, there we go. First card done. And you have a word that you can just set aside, or you can do it on the inside. So, next card. Let's go to our other big stencil one. Oh, I forgot to get my paint out. Or did I? Hang on a second. This one I put that you could do an optional paint to do snow. And I put that if you had a toothpick, which it looks like I have one right here. Okay, I'm good. So the next card, we're going to do this one. So let's make sure we have everything first. We have our envelope. Yay. Your words. Again, I gave you some different words. You have 2 things. You have a flag. If you want to use that flag, you can. Depending on the word that you use, there's an extra piece of black in there. So the black is to cut a flag if you use a word that doesn't fit on the flag. And what's funny is Becky asked me, I was actually at home, I think I was working at home for a little bit, and she said, is it one of the flags from the flag set? And she said it didn't fit. But then the flag didn't make it back on the die board. So Becky and I found the flag later on.
Yes.
And then we put the flag in there. So originally we put this in there because I did hand cut that. And Becky was going to die cut one, but we couldn't find the right die.
Oh gosh, that librarian.
No, it's not your fault. It's
slacking on her.
the people that use the dies, namely me, didn't put it back. So anyways, that's why you have a flag in there, plus you have a piece of black, and you have your words. So depending on which word you use, it may fit on there, or you may cut your own flag out of the black. That's what that deal is. Then you have the big buck. You have the white and that's the snow that goes at the bottom. So as long as I have that in my hand, let's just do it right away. And you could probably make 2 layers of snow. So if you rip kind of right down the middle. Now, I'm going to rip off to the side just so I'm going to show you what I don't like to do that I've seen people do. I would not just go like this and rip like that. I don't think that works very well. I like to use my hands like all the way down. Use this one to kind of guide it, and then you can rip, you know, and give it some ups and downs if you wanted to. So I like to use my one hand to guide as I'm ripping. And then you have the other one that you can use either the back, but I can't use mine because I ruined it. But so that's how I like to rip. So again, I don't like to just pull on one end and go like that. I like to use my hand to kind of guide that rip, and then I can go ups and downs and add some little, you know, hills or dimension if I want. And if you did this and you have a good rip across here, but it's taller than you want, then you could slice off the other end. So say I didn't want that much, you know, but I don't want to try and rip just this little teeny bit off the top. It's easier than to cut a tiny bit off the bottom. If you want to. Just showing you in case you rip too high. So we have our little rip. We have our Aberdeen card, our black layer, and then there's 2 pieces of white. One Becky put on the inside because this piece is your layering swatch for the inside. And I just want to point out the difference. Like if you feel the 2, this one was on the inside, and it's an 80-pound stock. The one that was on the front is the 100-pound watercolor. This is the 80-pound Via white, which I do tend to use the Cougar a lot. So that's why I kind of just I used the 100-pound watercolor because it's not as stark white as the Cougar. Let me see if I have a piece of Cougar here. Normally I do. The Cougar is a little bit brighter white. Hang on a second. Sarah's looking. Oh yeah. So this one was from our Valentine's Day one. This is the Cougar white, and it's an 80-pound. And you can just see it's a little bit brighter white than both the Via and the watercolor. And I didn't want a bright white, so that's why I used the watercolor right here. And then on the inside I used the Via, just so you could kind of see, like if you put these in your hands, you can kind of feel the 100-pound versus the 80-pound. Both are fine to use. I just wanted you to have them in your hands so you could feel the difference, because a lot of people will say, well, what's the difference between the whites? Because we have a lot of them. So anyways, the 100-pound is what I'm going to use behind my stencil. The Via white I'm going to use on the inside, which was close to the same color. And I'm just going to attach that right to the inside right away. Oops. I had my trigger pulled.
Uh-oh.
Yep, so I had a little bit of loose tape. That's what happens when you don't let go of the trigger.
Kathleen Ressler Moore says
Oh.
she's... Oops, what did you do?
I forgot. Kathleen brought it to my attention. She said, and the circle behind the words is to help with the sky. Yes, it is.
Yes.
So, I was wondering where that circle went, and I told Becky to put it on the back of the words, and she did, and I forgot. So yes, on the back of the words, there is this circle, and it is a piece of, I'll pull it out of my drawer. Oh, I don't have it's this roll, and it's Eclipse tape. And let's see if I have a package. No, I don't have any I don't have the packaging for it. This is from Judykins though, and it's called Eclipse tape, and it's just like a big mask. So I think they make solid Post-it notes, don't they, Mom? Like the well, they have that masking tape that you use just for a mask.
Yes.
That's white.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in like 1 inch or.
Yeah, there's some of that in there, Sarah.
Oh, it's right here.
Okay.
Yes. So like the Post-it does make this removable tape, but I needed something bigger for the sun.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just use a Post-it note and I'll make sure I cut where you have the sticky at the top, but the Eclipse tape works very good. I don't sell the Eclipse tape. It's from Judykins. So I did use it up at the top right here, but what I did first, and this is totally up to you, there's a wolf. I did just, see how there's just a little bit of light yellow up there, but not too dark. So if you're gonna do some yellow, do it off on the side, get most of it off of there. Most of it off of there. And just do it up at the top, just very, 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 very light, so you can hardly even see it. Okay, because that's a little bit, see how light it is right there? So just very light for that moon up there. And then I put my mask up there. Then you have your winter scene. Put it, now you don't want these, well maybe you do. I have a little bit of an edge right here. So, but if you raise it up, you won't get that edge. I had a little bit of it. Up to you. Perfectly up to you. It's your card. And I'm going to get my washi tape out again. This is where I struggle. Usually I'll find the end and I'll hang it on my camera leg so I don't have to find it again. And especially with fingernails, it's hard to get off. So I could just pull a roll of Scotch tape out, and I might actually do that because, yes. Whew. So yeah, if you're doing this at home, you know, without the kit, and you're just kind of working along or playing, you can just use a circle punch. That's what we used to punch that, and you could just use a, there we go, got it. You could use just a Post-it note. You could just use a Post-it note, and you make sure to have the sticky part.
No, I went to Judykins. I can't find that tape.
Maybe just search. Search Eclipse.
Eclipse, all right. She didn't have a search thing here, so I'm just.
So yeah, it depends on where you want this to fall. Because you could, you know, down here, yeah, it just totally depends on where you want your scene to fall. I have it off-centered right now. And I might scooch it over. Scooch, technical term, scooch.
Judykins Eclipse Art Masking Tape.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. I can find it on Amazon, but I don't see
Yeah, I don't know if she has a really good.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't have a great website.
No.
I mean, I don't have a great website either. So.
We aren't throwing stones, but
no,
you know,
because my website, believe me, is in the works. Okay, so now I am going to do yellow first, just right around here. Okay, just right around the moon. Then I'm going to come in with a purple and a blue, and I might get some of this other stuff out of the way here, because I'm going to pull my ink pads out. So I have a blue, I have a purple, and I had a gray out here too. Up to you if you want to use a little gray. So down at the bottom I, used a little bit of gray. I don't think I used much blue on this actually. Maybe I did, just a little bit in through here. I don't think I used that one. I think for the blue I used this one. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do yellow first around here. Then I'm going to switch blending brushes and do some purple and maybe a little bit of blue. Maybe I'll blend the gray with the purple down at the bottom. Just a hair of gray, not much. I have mostly purple. So yellow. And we can always brighten our yellow up. Like if we do our purple too much into our yellow, we can come back over and do the yellow again. So you can even see on my original stencil where I had the yellow. And for blending, I really like this one. This is the Impression Obsession Goldenrod. So now we can go to the purple. I think I did not use the Rubbernecker purples because I don't think there was a dark purple, or at least not one that I could find. So blending brushes, if you're using the ones that are kind of metallic like this, and I said this before, always put your thumb behind the top and never push down just like this, because that top could pop off. Kind of like the dandelions, when you go pink and the top of the dandelion pops off, well, that will what will happen to your brush head. Unfortunately, that's happened. And I think I'm going to add a little bit, I'm going to do my blue too. And I'll never get it to look exactly the same. Never. So I'm not even going to try. This one will just be a little bit different creation. Oops, I'm going to go to this one. See, that one is way blue, but then blended together. And we're going to do the same thing when we do the other one. But blended together, those two colors look really nice together. And then let's see if I have a brush that I can use some gray. Oh, not that one. That one's orange. Now my gray, remember I have wanted my gray just super light, so I am going to do my gray off on here a little bit. Oh, this brush had more blue on it, so let's see if I can get some gray. It had aqua on it. Whew, I might have to totally switch up brushes. Hang on, that brush is not going to work. My brushes are in need of some serious cleaning too. Like serious.
Okay, the filing person and the librarian's going to have to find something else to do.
What?
Clean the brushes.
Clean the brushes. Well, the brush, my brushes, I like to just take under the sink and clean my brushes. So I'm going to just do this very light and kind of pull in a little bit of purple. Now you can't even see it that much. But I am going to pull in a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue. But I want it really light down here. So So yeah, you don't really see the gray, it just kind of blends in with the purple, but it just is not as purple in your face. So let me take this off and see how it looks. So there's that. And now if I lost a little bit of the yellow, we can come back and add a little bit of yellow, which I think I did lose a little yellow up there. Okay, so now I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to keep some of these colors out for the wolf card. We can pull that off. And I'm attaching it to my... Alright, see? This one's a little bit more purpley. That's okay. But now we're going to attach those two together right onto there. And yeah, it's okay that you have different colors because I'm sure you all don't have exactly the same colors I have, so it's your own creation. Oops, I didn't let go of my trigger again. How does that happen? Twice in one night.
It's a suit trick.